Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today we are doing a very touchy subject. I know some people do not like to address money or finances, but I look at it like this. You are not addressing it with me. You are not addressing it with your significant other. You are not addressing it with your family. You are doing this internally by yourself, depending on where you're watching this. So we're going to get into it. Let's get straight into it. Treating yourself is killing middle class America. I've been doing a lot of research on YouTube and seeing a lot of videos where people are saying that the middle class is just suffering. I saw one quote that said that there's not even a middle class anymore, which I don't know if I technically agree with that or I don't, but I do believe that I have always grown up as a middle class American. I've never been on the super rich side, and I've never been on the other side of, complete poverty. I've been very fortunate. But I do see a shift in where and how the middle class are starting to spend their money. And it's starting to be scary for some. Now, with me not knowing your finances and you not knowing mine, it's not an accurate depiction for me to say you might be heading in a direction where you are going to spiral and not be in a position to where you can make appropriate purchases in the future or plan for your future or plan for retirement. We don't know each other on that level. So I can only talk about what I know and what I've experienced and what I see on this internet and what I see on these apps. And I do think that the middle class should be a little bit fearful. I honestly do. So treating yourself. I'm looking down because I have some notes. We just got out of a major holiday for those who celebrate it. I know everyone does not celebrate Christmas, but my first question that I'm going to pose to you would be, how many times since Christmas have you purchased a big item, a high ticket item, an item that you didn't really need, that maybe cost a couple $100 because you can afford to do it? How many times since Christmas, which was less than 2 months ago, have you purchased, and how many high ticket items have you purchased since Christmas? That is my first question that I'm going to ask you, that you can answer to yourself. You can answer in the comments. You can answer however you want to answer. All right. Are you treating yourself every month? So Christmas was in December. We are in February. Have you purchased high ticket items in January? Have you purchased high ticket items in February? Do you have a current wish list where you plan to go through the end of the year? If you do, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. But these are just questions that I'm asking you to ask yourself, because this middle class crisis is crazy. I found this YouTuber that I like, and let's go ahead and pull his video up here. Give me 1 second. And this was actually like really sad listening to some of this.
I don't know how, but every single month I somehow managed to get by, and I'm left with, maybe this past month I was left with $125 in my checking account, and that's it. As of June 2024, 65% of middle class Americans said they were struggling financially and don't expect their situation to improve for the rest of their lives.
For the rest of their lives. So 65, basically two-thirds of Americans saying they're struggling and don't think that they'll improve. So what does that mean? Does that mean two-thirds of Americans believe that they'll never be able to retire then? If you're struggling financially, that means you're saving no money for future retirements, any savings, emergency funds, 401ks, Roth IRAs, the list goes on and on. So does that mean only a third of Americans are going to be able to retire one day? I don't even want to know what that would look like when I start getting up into that age.
So that is Zach Rios here on YouTube. He is a very, very good YouTuber. I've been listening to and watching a lot of his videos, and this video is titled "Middle Class Can't Afford the American Dream." That's where I think I'm going with all of this information. It's the purchasing now and worrying later. Also, another thing is a video that I was watching on here was that Americans are accepting the fact that they are in credit card debt. It is okay for, I forgot the percentage that he said, for you to have a revolving balance on your credit cards. I've been there. I've been there. It didn't, and that's why I believe it. It didn't bother me at one point because I wasn't paying the bill late. The bill was getting paid every month. I was paying more than the minimum payment. And so I thought that I was fine. I was like, I'm good. Now, since not having to make those payments every month, now since my car was paid off last month, To be able to stack that money and save that money has like taken this big lift off of my shoulders that I didn't even know I had on my shoulders. It's kind of like you don't even know that you're going through it until you're not going through it anymore, if that makes any sense. I retired this year and I'm not scared. The fear of retiring is not instilled in me, and me saying, I don't know, or I'm going to have to cut back on this, that, or the other if I retire. That shouldn't be the reward. The reward of retirement should be, I worked hard all of these years and now I can retire, be comfortable, and not stress. Not the YOLO mentality that I'm going to get all these things and then eventually I'm going to retire and I'll just figure it out then. And I think that that's the direction that a lot of people are going. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. You can let me know that. But I think a lot of people are just like, this cost $100 or a couple $100 this month. I got it, or I can swipe it. And this, I want this and I'll get that. And they're not looking at the long term. They're not looking at the, how comfortable do I want to be when I retire? And that's if you're blessed enough to retire at a decent age. So, my other question I'm posing to you is, if you added up all of the things that you bought in 2024, how many times have you used them? And how many times have you worn them? Used them, worn them, whatever the item might be. How many times did you get your cost per wear out of these things that you needed so badly by treating yourself in 2024? We're in 2025. You had a whole year last year to use them. Are they sitting somewhere? Have you forgotten about some? I'm guilty. I forgot that I bought a Louis Vuitton card holder from what is it? I was going to say Tyler the Perry. Tyler the Creator Collection. I forgot that I even bought it. You know how I remembered that I purchased it? I was going through my Instagram and I was cleaning it up and I was scrolling and scrolling. I think I had posted it on there and I wanted to delete any materialistic things that I thought was like a materialistic post off my Instagram. And as I was scrolling, I was like, oh shoot, I have this card holder and I totally forgot that I bought it. It was the FOMO. It was the impulse. The minute that I saw that collection come out, I was like, this is colorful. I like it. I have to have something from this collection. Added to cart, clicked it, got it, looked at it when I got home. I was so excited and I literally forgot about it. I literally forgot about it until I was cleaning up pictures on my Instagram. So that's another question. How many of those things that you purchased last year or even this year have you used them because you needed them so badly? And when do you plan on using them? Next question. Do you already have a wish list? Let me get comfortable for 2025. I challenge you to reassess that wish list when you get a chance. Look at it, look and see how many things you actually need or want, and take out the I deserve. We've all used the I deserve it. I work hard. Treat yourself. YOLO. We a lot of us work hard. A lot of us deserve a lot of things, but we also deserve to enjoy life without having to purchase things all the time that we don't need. And we also, God willing, have to look forward to retirement without the burden of knowing, do I have to cut back on things because I wasted all this money while I was working hard, treating myself, YOLO, and doing all of those things? Am I going to be able to live a comfortable lifestyle when I retire? Am I going to have to cut back on all of those things because I purchased all these things that I didn't need while I was, quote unquote, working hard? How much have you saved in 2025? We are only in February. Have you had an opportunity to save in 2025? Have you saved any money? Is it just paying bills and spending, or have you had a chance to pay your bills, maybe buy a little bit, and then stack some in savings? Or is that not even um, a thought, or is that an afterthought? Some people do not think about savings. I realize that just speaking to some people at work and just watching some of these videos on Instagram and reels and on the TikTok reels that come through on YouTube. Some people do not even think about savings. They are literally just trying to get to the next month, have a little fun, eat out, go on a trip, do whatever, and not worry about 5 years from now, 10 years from now. And that's kind of scary. It's kind of scary. No, tomorrow's not promised, but what if it comes? What if 10 years from now comes? What if you are close to retirement age? What are your plans? Are these things you're thinking of? And if you have children, what are you teaching your children? Are you teaching them that, YOLO, let's treat yourself? Are they saving? Are your children saving? Do you have those conversations with them if you do have children? These are things that I'm asking you to ask yourself. It's not, these are tough questions. These are tough questions. When I had to discuss finances, because like I said, my husband and I, we don't share bank accounts. We never have. We've been together 17 years. And there came to a point in time where I had to discuss finances with him. It was not an easy conversation. It was not easy. I had been very wasteful, and I had to sit down with him and say, these are the things that I did. These are the things that I need to fix. And I need to get us, it's my responsibility to get us back on the right track. And we did that. We had that very, very hard conversation. So me having this channel with you guys, I'm asking the hard questions, not for you necessarily to do the engagement down in the comments. If you want to, you can, but I'm putting myself out there too, just letting you know things that I have had to cut back on and change. Next question I have, and I've asked this in other videos, how many of these purchases that you're making are you making due to social media? Seriously, ask yourself, are you buying that next thing because you follow a certain person that posts these things and the next thing comes out and you're like, I have to have this. This is the best next thing. I don't know if I'll be able to get this again because like I said, FOMO is a thing. They have these 30 of these things come out or 2,000 of these things come out in the country. And you are that lucky person that your CA or SA contacted you and said, hey, I have one of these for you. Would you love the opportunity to buy this? And you're like, yes, I would like to buy it because I want to be one of those 2,000 or 1,000 people to have this one item or this one of 2,000 items in the United States or wherever you may be. If you guys don't get it by now, CAs and SAs, I loved you guys in the past. Some of you I still do because I made like connections with you and we became friends and we're friends on Instagrams and stuff. But that's their job. You are not special. That is their job. That they have a list of people who they know that this thing is probably going to pique an interest. I'm going to get them to buy it and I'm going to get my commission. They have to live too. They have to live too. So yes, we are having the hard conversations today. We are having the hard talks today. We are having the heart to heart. What else do I have for you guys on this notepad of mine? How many of these purchases that you made in 2024 and 2025 were on your credit card and can be paid off before interest hits? I'm going to pause with that one. How many of these did you guys pay in cash? Cash that probably is for an item you don't need that you could have put that cash toward your savings because 300, 800, 1,000, 1,500, that adds up over time. And if you're doing that once a month or once every other month, if you look at how much you spent at the end of the year, that could have been in your savings, or you could have even used it for a trip if you wanted to take a trip. Or maybe you took a trip too and you purchased all of these things. But are all these things paid off right now, or are these things collecting interest somewhere? Because if that's the case, it's not really treating yourself. You are still paying for these things and you're paying more than they are actually worth. You're already paying more than they're actually worth because a lot of these things, sneakers, jewelry, i.e. Van Cleef, i.e. Chanel costume jewelry, Dior costume jewelry, we are paying for name, not quality. Let's just be real. If I can't get in the shower, if I cannot shower with with a piece of jewelry, for me, it's not worth it. I don't want unless I'm buying it from Claire's. If I'm buying it from Claire's, I know that I can't take it in the shower because it's going to turn green, or it's going to turn my neck green, or it's going to turn my wrist green. But if I'm paying thousands of dollars for a piece of jewelry and I cannot shower with it, no thank you. No thank you. I do not want it. All right. Last thing I have and last question I have for you is paying off any credit card debt even a goal for you in 2025? Has that been a thought? Is it just spend, fun, YOLO, treat yourself, I work hard, or do you have any goals this year to pay off something? Is there something you're aspiring to do? One thing this year to say, you know what? I accomplished this positive. Shopping is not a positive thing. It's fun, but it's not pouring into anything long term. It's pouring into, the minute you buy that thing, the value goes down. The minute you buy that $2,000 purse, those $2,000 shoes, the minute you try to resell it, you're not getting the same amount of money for it. So I'm speaking about something that you pour into yourself that is going to grow, not decrease in value. So what plans do you have this month or this year or down the line to pay off any debt if you have some? Now, if you're a person watching this video and you have zero credit card debt and you have things that are already paid off, i.e. your car, you don't have a car payment, you don't have a lot of bills, or your savings account is exactly where you want it to be, and you've budgeted each month for all of these items, then this video is not for you. You're just doing an awesome job in life. You're winning at life. You're winning at middle class if you are the middle class. These questions are for the people who I think are getting treat yourself confused with I'm not planning for the future. And this is not directed towards anyone in particular. Please do not think that. These are videos that I've been seeing come up in my feed about the middle class, and it kind of hit home because that's my class. Like that's where I am. That's who I am. I consider myself the middle class, and I don't want to get left behind in that aspect. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. I know some of you might be like, no, I did not enjoy this video. You asked me some really hard questions. Well, I did. I did. I do still believe in treating yourself. I do. Like I said, I'm going to a concert next Sunday. That was a treat for my husband and I. It is the R&B remix. I'm very, very excited. But it doesn't mean because I'm going to this concert that I'm not aware of things that I need to focus on and do better on in my life. I no longer need to be that person that has to buy something once a month or a few times a month. And I think this is the longest the UPS man has not come to my house. He probably thinks I've moved, which is hilarious. He probably thinks I've moved. I don't remember the last time I had a package delivered to my house from UPS that needed a signature or anything like that. So I feel good about it. I feel really, really good about it. And part of that, like I said in my previous video, was cleaning up my social media. Stop allowing influencers to upsell me in secret and tap, tap, tap and do all of those things. So I do hope you enjoyed this video, even if it did give you a little bit of I would appreciate it if you would maybe give me a thumbs up, comment, like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.